Welcome back to another episode of Food Friday with Samy Bee. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. And today is a request video. Thank you guys so much for requesting. I think this is the first Food Friday video request that I've received. So I want to say thank you so much. So if you guys remember, I think it was last week, we did a stir fry crock pot recipe. But it was halfway through that I started filming because that's actually when I realized that this could be something. So y'all requested for the full video. Here we have it. And this is the recipe. Now, a question I did have was, why didn't it get 10 out of 10? The truth is, I didn't make the sauce like I usually do. Usually I do a ton of sweet and sour. And this time I didn't. So I actually changed my recipe. So that's why I didn't give it 10 out of 10. And also, I might like the noodles better in a pan, but I'm gonna give it another shot this time because now that I've had practice once, I'm gonna see if I can perfect it the second time. That's why I didn't get a 10 out of 10, because when I made it in the pan, I did like it better, but this was so easy to do that I almost like this better. I also overdid the vegetables too. So that's kind of also why I didn't get 10 out of 10. They were great. They were mushy. So there were a few reasons why I didn't get 10 out of 10, but most of all, it was great. It was so easy to do. It's great meal prep. I'm obviously doing it again because I do love the recipe. So this is the full slow cooker stir fry. Let's get into today's recipe. We are starting with our base. Now we have our slow cooker clean, ready to go. Choose what kind of meat you want to use. There's 3 types I can think of. You could probably do shrimp if you wanted, but I don't like shrimp. You could do pork, which is what I'm doing. You can do chicken breast, and you can also do beef, so some steaks. I'm doing pork because it was cheap, and it's also good. I like pork in stir fries. I think pork is great. Also, Clay, my hubby, don't like pork, but he will eat it in a stir fry. So there's a hack also. If you guys have someone in your family who doesn't like pork, try sneaking it in a stir fry. Maybe they won't notice. So we have 4 little tiny pork chops. Just fill the base with meat, and now we're going to season it. This is our lineup of sauces. I'm going to keep it very simple today. We're going to start with Himalayan sea salt. Just do a couple cracks on each piece of meat. I also have lime. You can choose fresh lime or just easy peasy bottled lime juice. Sprinkle that on each piece of meat. So lime and citrus, what it does is it tenderizes the meat, which we want tender meat for a stir fry. You guys know I love using my secret soy sauce recipe, and no, I don't know the brand yet. This is from my local sushi house restaurant, and I don't know what brand they use, but it is so good. So I am going to use a fair amount of soy sauce because we want the juices to soak up into the meat. So we're gonna generously pour some of that on, but also I want to savor it because it's so good. And because it's a stir fry, I want a little bit of sweetness. You can do honey, you can do teriyaki, you can do sweet and sour, you could do stir fry sauce. We are keeping it simple this time, and we're gonna do teriyaki. Oh, the smell of teriyaki mixed with soy sauce, 10 out of 10. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then, yeah, put a medium amount on, because when we flip these to let them cook on the other side, we're gonna add the same sauces and the seasoning on the other side. So now that we have that, we're gonna put it in our slow cooker, put the lid on, turn the heat on high, and let it cook for probably at least 2 hours, at least until the meat is done. It's been a couple hours actually, so I was busy with work. It's definitely time to flip. Look at all of that liquid. That is why we actually don't add a lot of liquid in right now. Because it's very liquidy, but it's good because the pork chops are feeling very, very soft. That's what we want. We want very tender meat in a stir fry. So let's splash the juices on top. Add some more of our spices. We're coming in with the salt. We're coming in with the lime. We're coming in with the soy sauce. Literally, I could drink this. Not going to, but I could. And of course, last but not least, the teriyaki. And I might actually finish this off. Not much left in the bottle. Very empty. I'm gonna, to produce less waste, I'm gonna keep the lid on, put it upside down, let the rest of the juices fall, and then I'm gonna do the rest in there. But you can see that they're almost relatively cooked. We're going to give them maybe 13 more minutes. I'm gonna pull them out, I'm gonna chop them up, and that's when we put them back in to let the inside soak with the veggies. We take this gorgeous cooked meat. I would say it's fully cooked. Now, you might not be as picky as I am. I do not enjoy eating fat. I'm like a kid. I cut off all my fat. I don't like it. I don't like it. Some people love it, some people don't. I'm one of those people that just don't like it. Now, I have a puppy who would indeed love the fatty chunks. So to me, I'm not wasting it. It's a great treat for my fur baby. However, you can choose at this point what you want to do. So basically what I'm doing is just trimming around the edges. And unfortunately, you do lose quite a bit of meat, but it is what it is. If you're picky like me, that's just something that we deal with. And I do find pork quite fatty around the edges anyways, so yeah, so that's why maybe it's better to go with chicken, but even sometimes chicken has quite a bit of chunky, gross veins and fat. Okay, I don't want to be talking about this stuff too much. So we have our good pieces here. So now we just take those, we're gonna put those back in the slow cooker. Do the same with the rest of your meat. And at this point, as you could see, the meat, I mean, I can show you one of the pieces, but the meat, where are we here? It's fully cooked. It's fully cooked. So you can get a little doggy bowl. And what I like to do is to make it last, I put it in a little bowl and I keep it in the fridge for my dog so that throughout the week I can give him little pork bites. There we go. All of the meat is chopped up. So we're going to put that in the slow cooker. Now, we want to have a bit of liquid. As you can see, it is a little bit liquidy, and we want that because the noodles, when we put the chow mein in, those need liquid to cook the noodles. So here we have our meat. We're gonna let it absorb a little bit of moisture and sauce on its own before we put the veggies in. I like that because then some of those middle pieces that didn't get a lot of juice can just soak up a little bit extra. And you're welcome to do this too, but I'm just gonna add the rest of my teriyaki in because you saw that we were getting as many last drops out as we could, but it doesn't look like much came out. So you don't have to season yours at this stage. I'm just doing it because I had little bit left. So now we can put the lid back on and give it another, I'd say 20 minutes on low. We're gonna turn it on low because we want it low and slow to absorb the flavors.
Baby boy! Baby boy! Hi, boy! That's some fresh pork, freshly cooked. Do you love that? You're a good boy.
Force proofs. Yeah, you mind a little bit of fat. Oh yeah, sometimes we just need extra protein. Especially Bernese mountain dogs. Good boy. Look at this one, super fatty. Oh yeah, do you love that? Okay, just a few more, okay? A few more. Yum, yum, yum.
Ooh,
Good boy.
here you go.
Good boy, we're gonna save the rest, okay? For a different, maybe tonight.
He looks like a good boy.
I love you so much. All right, guys, it's time to add the veggies. So like I said, last time I overcooked the veggies. It's probably because I left them in too long. But this time I'm going to add them in on the low setting. And we don't have a lot of meat, so I'm not going to add a lot of veggies. Also, I'm picky and I'm picking out the mushrooms because I don't like mushrooms and I didn't realize this pack came with them. Yuck. So gross. I just don't like mushrooms at all. And again, we're not wasting. Do you know where these are going? To my compost for my, like, look how big that is. That's disgusting. My birds and my squirrels and my rabbits outside, they are going to have that as a beautiful lunch whenever they find it. Okay, we're gonna start with that because I also have from the last episode my sliced canned water chestnuts because I love water chestnuts in stir fry. Strain the can, dump them in, and we're gonna do the same thing with my baby corn. Strain and dump. Let's give this a stir and see how the ratio of veggies to meat is. So you can see that if you don't feel like getting frozen veggies, you can obviously fresh chop your veggies. This is, because we're doing it in a slow cooker, this is obviously like the fast and easy and lazy way to do stir fry. So you can individually buy each of these veggies, chop them up, wash them, but we're not doing that in this episode. So I like the ratio, not too much veggies. Actually, we've got lots of corn. I'm gonna go in with my fork and maybe even cut those in half. But I like the ratio of the veggies with the meat because we're still gonna add noodles. So since everything's frozen, we're gonna let this sit for probably half an hour. We're not gonna overcook it. And it's also on low. So it'll be a nice temperature for everything. So put that lid back on. Keep the juices and... Oh, right. This reminds me. This is the part of the plan where I want to make it a 10 out of 10 recipe. So I'm going to add the rest of my soy sauce. The secret soy sauce. I'm going to add the rest of it right now. Just for you, because one of you said, why isn't it 10 out of 10? And the truth is, my sauce recipe wasn't on point. And I'm going to add probably, what is this, like 5-6 tablespoons of sweet and sour sauce. I got all my sauces in. I'm going to stir it around to get it nice and even on, coat it all over the veggies and the meat. So quite a bit more of a sticky sauce, which is what I was lacking in the last recipe. Now we put the lid on and give it another 30 minutes or so on low. Low and slow. I'm not overcooking the veggies this time. Last step, you guys. Grab your chow mein. This is my favorite brand. This is what I use. Probably about half a bag. We're going to dump it all in. Get it all in. I love these noodles. To me, you can't really have too much. I am actually going to add more sweet and sour sauce on top of the noodles and mix it in because that is what I do during the stir fry when I'm doing it in a frying pan. And because I want to get this as close as possible to how I'm used to doing stir fries and try to get that 10 for you guys, that is why I'm doing this, to try to copycat what I do in the frying pan. I also add xoxo. Just sprinkle it on. You don't have to go too crazy. Actually, I am actually going a little crazy with this. I'm actually gonna just use up the rest of what's in my jar. This is, I think, why my stir fries always taste so good, because I go so crazy with the sauces. Now, we still have it on low. Let's mix the noodles in with all the juices. I hope we get a 10 this time. Either way, what did I rate it last time? 9.5 out of 10? Yeah, I mean 9.5 is still pretty good. And again, easy peasy meal prep. Everything in one pot. Super easy. Like, what do we dirty? We dirtied a cutting board, which are pretty quick to wash. And it just looks so colorful and beautiful. But I have this soy sauce, whatever soy sauce you have. Okay, let's not go too crazy. This time for real, let's not go too crazy. I'm just using this. I don't know if you've ever used that one, but I'm using it. Alright, now one final stir before we put the lid on and let the noodles finish. I'm guessing 20 minutes. I am so happy to announce, and I'm not even lying, this is a 10 out of 10. I am so fucking happy that you made me redo this recipe. It is a 10 out of 10. I put so much extra, like, I'm sweating. I don't know why. It's so good. I put so much extra sweet and sour, teriyaki, Worcester, soy sauce, and I sampled it before this take because I wanted to make sure. And it is so freaking good, you guys. Oh my god, this is so good. Look at that. We cooked the vegetables and the noodles on low this time, and I think that helped. So once your meat's done cooking, turn the crock pot on low. We put lots more sauce, and I cooked the noodles actually longer this time, and it turned out 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10. This is a 10.5 out of 10. Oh my god. Oh my god! Like, you cannot tell me that this doesn't look good. Oh my god, it is so freaking good. Alright guys, we perfected the recipe. I'll probably remove the old one because we don't need her anymore. So, whew! I love it. Thank you so much again to request this video. I'm so happy you did because it turned out so amazing. The first one I thought, okay, if I were to do stir fry again, I'd probably do it on the pan. Now, I would say this is probably how I will do stir fry because you just, like I said, you just leave it and forget it. And it turns out amazing every time. So go make this. I'm gonna go eat this up. I'm not even gonna, I'll dish it up after this, but it's so good. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe. Also join my Patreon. The link is in my description on my channel, so it would mean a lot to me if you could go support me. And I will see you guys in the next episode. I'm gonna take this massive bite now. Top it with sesame seeds for garnish and a little bit of flavor.